So hello and welcome to another tutorial in another part of our tutorial in Android Firebase Advanced Programming. What I will show you now today in this part is how to add images and resources to our application. Okay, really, it's not such a, I mean, there are many ways to do it. We will, for example, show you the first manner. Okay, you'll see that we have two sections, drawable and map map. Okay, when we choose map, you will see that there is an IC launcher, which is really a representation of a certain resource, okay, which is an icon, IC is icon, and it shows us in 5 different formats, okay. This is something that it's mostly for people who work in design, but it's important to understand that because we have different types of screens in the Android market, we may in many cases have to prepare images in different different sizes and resolutions. Okay, now we are not going to use our resources this way. We will put for now our resources in a very simple and more not complex way, a very simple way, which is to copy and paste the resources inside our drawable section. Okay, now I will try to create a map based resources. If we go to new image asset, it allows us to choose and to create a map based element. Okay, it's really mainly oriented towards icon imaging and stuff like that. Okay, so right now, as you can see, we can choose a number of icon types. Okay, and we can, I don't know, play around with the size of the different elements and so on and so on. We're not going to use this one. What we will do is use an image downloaded from the internet, for example. Okay, now to do that, what I'm trying to find is a nice image to use. We will always try to use an JPG or PNG file because it's much better suited for applications development. The problem is that I don't have any image. Okay, so I'm gonna go to Google Images. So nothing more than going to Google Images. Okay, let me put it here on your screen, and I'm going to search other images. Let's go to and let's just search, I don't know, for an icon of something. Let's say UCGC logo, for example, this one here. You will see it's an image. Now I'm not sure if it's a JPG or whatever. Let me try to see what kind of format it is. Yeah, thank you for telling me. But I don't really like the other one. Let me try one which is much, okay, this one. Okay, so let's save this in downloads. Okay, and what I going to grab now is the file, exactly the icon I just downloaded from here, and the idea is to just copy and paste it. Now you can change, I will change the name of the file. It's very important. Some of the basic elements that it requires us is to put the name, everything in small letters, okay, not capital letters, and it cannot have any kind of spaces. It's very important to respect that because it won't allow us to add it if we have it in a different way here in the Android. We will copy this and paste it in the drawable folder package, and we're just going to choose the basic drawable, not version 24. We can change the name of the icon if we want again, but I'm not gonna do that. Once we do that, okay, I have it here, as you can see. Once I passed my file here, I can start using it anywhere in my app. Okay, I can put it in the activity main if I want to. I can go here and put the icon. Let's move all this a bit downwards. Yeah. If I do this, probably we'll have to update some constraints. And you can always here go to the common, because it's a very common element to use, drag here the image, and it will ask me where to find the file, the image I want to associate. Okay. Now, because it's in my project, I choose project and I go to the UCGC icon I just added. If I do that, now I finally have my icon here. And if I add it, if I add the constraints, now, as you can see, my form has the icon of the UCGC in the top part of the app. Now, because I'm not going to see the login, I'm going to go now to add it in my fragment. Okay. Same way again, I go to the image view, I drag and drop here, go to my project, and choose it here. I can always search for it here, for example. If I write down up here UCGC icon, it will filter to that. Now, if I make it smaller, and I drag and drop here, and I add the constraints, if I execute now, I will finally have the image with its in the middle of my screen, as you can see. Okay, now, okay, great. That is how we add images and static elements to the app. We, as I mentioned before, we are not defining the images in many different sizes. What I mentioned here, we are just dragging it and dropping into the drawable section. Okay, now with that, with the strings that I mentioned before and this, you can start now defining all the static data and the imaging necessary. We can change, you will see that in many different elements we can add, instead of an image, you can always, for example, add a button which is based not on text but on image. Okay, I mean, specifically the image button, the button doesn't really help me, but if I go to buttons, there is an image button option, okay, which is a button that has an image on it, okay, instead of a text, an image. Now, again, this is a small problem because the size of the image is very big and the icon. So there are all kind of methods to make the image. Let's see if I can find a center and the center, fit center. Yeah. So we have to play around with some attributes, okay, common attributes. The scale type, for example, if one of them, we can play around with center. I think center crop is much better. Fit XY, it's not the best. Matrix, never tried it before. Center, it doesn't cut it. Fit and it's make it down. Center and center inside. Okay, so let's put the fit center. No, the fit X. No, the crop, center crop. Okay, so now I have this image. Okay. Okay, sorry. In the middle, which is really a button. Okay, now it's an image button. You can change the name. I'm gonna leave it like that. But what I will do is exactly what we did here with these two buttons. I'm gonna copy the ID, or I'm gonna remember ID, okay? And here I'm gonna do the same process as we did with the buttons. Var img button of type image button equals null, okay? Image button equal root, find view by ID, image button, okay? Let's remember this is the name. If I go to the link here, it will take me to here, which is exactly the same thing. If I change the name to image btn, I don't know, UCJC, okay? If I do this, I have to go back to my fragment and put here the right name. Well, it already it updated it, so don't worry, but you have to put it. Now I'm going to set that the listener that it will execute pass through here, okay, the on click, and I will add the else if option of p0 id equals image button id, okay, to see if it is this one we was clicked, and I can add finally my message saying just clicked the USJC icon. Okay, if I do all this, okay, if I finally connected all the dots, if I execute this, it's next time I execute it, each time I press here, just click the USJ icon. Okay, so again, with everything you've seen until now, you can finally start creating your app very simply and defining sub-fragments, fragments and pieces of the app, and start playing around with that. Okay, the next part will be creating a more complex relation between fragments, and to work with fragments, and also in the near future we'll show you how to show a list of elements inside a fragment. Till next time.